just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another video. I am sitting in the Starbucks line getting Katie some hot chocolate just because Katie actually this morning woke up with a little bit of a sore throat and has officially caught whatever it is that me and the girls have. And last night was a terrible night, but we'll explain more of that later. I know from firsthand, at least what helped me was whenever I had my sore throat, the first thing I did was make myself like hot coffee or something hot that would kind of like soothe my throat. And I feel like that's very common when like you have a sore throat or you're like sick in general. It's just kind of like you want to keep drinking things. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm hoping that it will help her a little bit. I have AV in the car. AV, say hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
I love you.
Oh, I love you. The reason I'm driving in Katie's car is because the landscapers are at the house and it was too much of a hassle to pull the truck out and I didn't want to like bother them and get in their way. I'm actually going to try and record some of the work that they get done today. And
Sorry about that. Wait, what can I get started for you?
can I please have a grande hot chocolate?
Grande hot chocolate, right on. Anything else?
Just whipped cream on top and that'll be it.
Absolutely. $3.78. We'll see you at the window.
Thank you. Katie's on the phone. I'm recording now.
Mama.
Yeah, baby.
Dada, mama. Mama.
Yeah, baby. What?
What are you gonna tell her?
I love you.
She loves you.
Mommy. Mama.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
A doggy, Bobby, doggy.
She has her puppy doggy. Here you go, my little sick baby.
They just got me some Starbucks, which I am so thankful for. He actually offered to go get it for me because this morning I woke up with a pretty sore throat and I can feel like some drainage. Up until this point, I've been perfectly healthy and fine while everyone else has been sick, and I am like the first person to get sick. Whenever I used to nanny, if like the little boy was sick, I would get sick right away. Like, I am so prone to getting sick. This time I held out for a good like week and a half, maybe week, since like Ben started not feeling well. We had another rough night last night. The girls woke up at about midnight, both of them, and they did not feel good. Avery was hysterically crying, just not being able to breathe. The way that she was breathing and coughing, like I was honestly so close to taking her to the emergency room or just something last night to get some help, because it sounded like she was struggling to breathe, and the way that she was coughing and breathing was so concerning to me. But when she would calm down, she would be fine and she wouldn't like breathe like that anymore. So I think it was just her getting herself worked up. Ella went back to sleep at about maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, and then we decided to let Avery stay up because we figured if we tried to put her back down, she would just kind of freak out again, and then we'd have to go through the whole thing again. She wouldn't be able to breathe, so we just let her stay up, and I think she and Ben stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning. Ben told me, he's like, if you go to sleep now, like I'll sleep in tomorrow, and I'll like stay up with Avery and I'll sleep in tomorrow, and then you can just get up with Ella. And I was like, okay. Well, I could barely sleep while Ben was down here with her. I was so worried that Ben was going to fall asleep on the couch and have Avery be running around. I don't know why. I was just like paranoid about it. I was like on and off sleeping. I called him a few times just to make sure he was still awake. And then Ella woke up at 7 this morning, and Avery also woke up at 7, and she didn't even go to sleep until 3 o'clock. So today we've kind of just been trying to survive and trying to rest a lot. I will admit we have not done very much but sit on the couch and cuddle the kid. I started out our day by giving both the girls a bath, which I thought would make them feel better. I gave them like each individual bath and then put some like vapor rub on them afterward, just so that their sinuses were clear and they could start out their day a little bit better than they did yesterday, which I think did help. Hi you guys. Oh, I am not doing well at all. I woke up this morning feeling awful. I have the worst shortness of breath, and I know half of my shortness of breath has to do with me being pregnant. This is like the worst I have ever had shortness of breath. Like at times I feel like I'm just not getting enough air into my lungs, and it just is like scary. There's a lot going on right now. We are currently at urgent care. I actually was not planning on going to urgent care today, and an urgent care visit has little to nothing to do with us being sick, but while I'm here I'm hoping they will COVID test me. If not, I'll probably run and go get a rapid test somewhere else. But I signed me up for a test, and they called me and they were like, we don't do COVID tests here. And she said it really depends on the provider if they feel like it's necessary to give a COVID test. So she said it's not guaranteed, but like the provider may want to give me a COVID test, and I'm hoping that they do. I'm actually here on a whole separate thing, which I don't know if I can explain. Our appointment is in 7 minutes, so I'm gonna try and explain this as fast as I can. I'm here for the bottom of Avery's feet to take her to go get checked out, and this has been something that I've been concerned about for about 3 weeks now and just haven't like said too much about it because it's really on and off. I first noticed something on the bottom of her feet when we were driving up to Aspen 3 weeks ago, and what looked like a worm to me, which is so weird. She had this weird squiggly line on the bottom of her foot. She didn't seem to be bothered by it. I just happened to see it, and I was like highly concerned about it, and immediately was like, oh my gosh, she totally has like a parasite or something in her body. It took me back to when she had UTIs, and I was like, oh my gosh, she totally has something like in her system that I didn't know about. Well, later on that night it was gone, and so I was like, maybe I was wrong. Like maybe she just like had her foot the wrong way and it like made a weird line. I don't know. On and off for the past 3 weeks, the bottom of her feet have been irritating her. She will say owie toesies is what she will say, and point to the bottom of her feet, and every now and then I'll look at the bottom of her feet and what looks to me like blisters, like not even blisters, like sometimes it looks like a rash, sometimes it looks like she burned the bottom of her feet, sometimes it looks like bruised, and I'll put up pictures while I'm talking about this. I'll show you a picture of what her foot looked like this morning, and her feet looked like swollen and cracked, and it's not that I don't put lotion on them, because we put lotion on them all the time. I even tried to put lotion on her feet last night and tried to like massage her foot, and she was just not having it. She said owie 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 like anytime I pressed down on it. So poor baby is so sick. But anyways, we couldn't get into her regular provider until early next week, and her feet have been bothering her even today, saying like owie toesies all day today. I just have a weird feeling about it. I have no idea what it is or what it could be. I've looked up pictures, I've called people, and I have had zero answers of what it could be. We are gonna go in. I made an appointment ahead of time because last time we were here at urgent care for her UTI, we had to wait such a long time, and other people had already made appointments and were just like walking in and going back. So I did that this time. Made an appointment. It's 3 o'clock and we're here to get checked out.
Okay, wow, it has been a whole day. I'm currently in the emergency room, and I did not expect to be here today or at all in general. As you guys saw earlier, I was taking AV to urgent care, and I think I mentioned that I wasn't feeling very well. I was feeling kind of just out of breath, and I mentioned that to the doctor at urgent care, and so she took my heart rate, and my heart rate at the time was at 149, and which is very high. I could feel it. I wasn't feeling very well, so she ran an EKG, and apparently my dad was telling me that I was just having basically a elevated and irregular heart rate, so my heart wasn't beating at the rate that it's supposed to, and the heart rate was pretty high. So they told me to come over to the emergency room to be monitored and get my heart rate down, which my heart rate is down now. I have so many wires hooked up to me right now, and I have a monitor, so my heart rate right now is at 105, but it's been steadily at like 115. And since I've been here, when I first got here, it was maybe at like 120, and then now it's at like 105. But I also have been laying down for a while now and just not really moving, and they are giving me some fluids, so that's definitely playing a role in it. And I just don't know what it's gonna be like once I stand back up again and like get moving around. It'll like probably affect me again. So yeah, now I'm at the emergency room. Ben has the girls because we can't have kids here at the ER, so I'm here by myself. I don't want to get anybody else sick with what we have, so I'm not asking for anybody to help us and like watch the girls, so Ben can be here with me. We got tested for COVID, RSV, and the flu, and all of them came back negative, which is really good, so we don't have any of that. Like I said, I did not have intentions of coming to the emergency room today. Like, today's urgent care visit was strictly for like AVREY and just getting some answers. So they have me hooked up to an EKG, I'm pretty sure, and they're monitoring my heart rate and my heart rhythm, and I'm just chilling. I literally just don't know what to do because I'm hooked up to so many things and there's nobody here, so like I just don't know what to do at this point. So yeah, I'm just chilling. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling pretty tired. Now that my heart rate's like calmed down, I'm feeling pretty tired. So yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen next. I've probably been in this room just hooked up to the fluids and everything for about 20 minutes now or so. So I don't know what to do or what I'm supposed to do. So yep, that's an update for you guys.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I showed up to the urgent care that Katie was at, and they were like, "Are you the husband? Are you the husband?" Like, they were waiting on me. So I pretty much went. The doctor kind of explained a little bit what happened to me. I'm gonna honestly just kind of breeze through this, and Katie will be able to give you a little bit more details later on, because obviously I wasn't there. I don't know like firsthand. Essentially, her resting heart rate was crazy high. There's a whole bunch of different stuff going on that's not good. So the doctor said that she needed to go to the hospital. So I took Katie to the hospital. I dropped her off at the ER, and they don't let kids in there. Plus the kids are sick, and it literally, when I tell you, I was so worried, and I still am so worried. I'm like, I don't know. I guess it's something. It's so weird to like not be able to be there, like with her. I told Katie, I was like this sucks. Like I can't. Like I want to be there with you, but I can't because the kids are sick. They're getting tired. It's getting to their bedtime, and they don't even allow kids into the ER. I can't even be there for her, so then now she has to just like sit there by herself. I don't know. I feel terrible for it, and I was like, I think that if it gets more serious, and I'm not too sure exactly what's gonna happen over there, but if it gets too serious, I think that you should have someone. I was like, whether that be your mom, whether that be your mom come watch the girls, but then again, we don't want to get them sick, so it's just kind of a difficult situation for us. But we're just hoping that Katie is going to be okay. I keep texting her and asking her like, how is she? And she's like, I'm just off. And all day today she's been like, I have no energy. Like I can't do anything. I can't like think straight. Like my mind isn't working. So I'm just hoping and praying that she will be okay. I'm sure that she will be, but still it's kind of scary when you're like significant others literally in the ER and you can't like go and like be there with them and like support them, which sucks.
Hi you guys, I'm okay. I am back home. I'm taking it really easy today, but I kind of wanted to give you like a short version of what happened. Hello? I didn't really get the answers that I was hoping or wanting to get, like getting out of the whole experience. As you guys heard, I went into urgent care yesterday specifically for Avery's feet and to get Avery tested for like RSV because I was starting to get worried about it. Well, earlier that day, I had to lay down and take a few hours to myself while the girls were napping because I just couldn't catch my breath. When I got to urgent care, I was mainly focused on Avery, and I honestly think that the whole situation was just very chaotic. There was a lot going on. Avery was sick. I was talking about her feet. I was sick, and the doctor was just trying to cover all three, and she was worried about like every single situation. First of all, she told me that she thought that Avery had RSV, which scared me a lot because I don't hear great things about RSV, and it's really, really scary for little kids. So she said just by the sound of her cough, it sounded like RSV. So she wanted to get her tested, and she was going to test me as well. So that was really good news that she wanted to get us tested because I wanted to get that done. We talked about Avery's feet, and honestly, we kind of like breezed over it, and I honestly don't really remember everything that she said about it because I just wasn't feeling well, and I think she could tell. And so I told her, I was like, yeah, I haven't been feeling well today. Like I feel kind of woozy. I've had to lay down. I'm struggling to breathe, and I can just feel my heart beating pretty fast. So she took my heart rate, and it was at 149. She was like, oh, okay, that's really high. So we're gonna do an EKG. She did an EKG, and my heart rate was not beating regularly. So she sent me over to the emergency room. When I got to the emergency room, they asked me if I had COVID symptoms. I said yes. So they kind of pulled me off to a different section. Don't worry, Ben's taking care of him upstairs right now. They kind of pulled me off to a different section. I did not go into the waiting room. I don't think they wanted me in there if I had COVID symptoms, which I totally get. And I think it actually worked to my benefit because they took me back immediately. I did not have to wait in the waiting room. The doctor at the urgent care also called ahead and told them that I was coming. Plus I'm pregnant. So with all of those things, they took me back right away. They ran another EKG. I waited for a little bit, and then they pulled me back into a room. They took a urine sample, they took some blood, and then they started me on some fluids and then monitored me for about an hour or two. I was in there for a long time. People were coming in and out just to make sure I was okay. Eventually my dad came, and once my dad came, he started to explain to me why they sent me there, because up until this point, I had no idea why they even sent me other than my heart rate was high. But he was saying that I was having arrhythmias or something like that, which is my heart was just not beating like boom, 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 boom. It wasn't doing that. Something was off, and my heart was literally beating all over the place. Then my test came back for COVID, RSV, flu, all came back negative. And the doctor wanted to wait and see if those came back negative to do any kind of further testing, because that would just kind of explain why I was having a hard time breathing, whatever. Well, all those came back negative, so she wanted to do a chest x-ray to make sure I didn't have any blood clots in my lungs, which I guess having shortness of breath and tachycardia, which means your heart rate is up pretty high, can mean that you have a blood clot in your lungs. So they did that, ended up coming back negative. I didn't have any blood clots in my lungs. My dad was obviously there, and he was asking them questions, which up until this point, I've had POTS since I was like 16. They said that it would go away within like, I was like, by the time I was 20 or something, and it hasn't gone away. The reason why you have tachycardia with POTS is because your electrolytes are not in balance and your potassium is not in balance or something like that. Don't quote me. I really am so unsure, but he asked them to check those in my blood work, and they were both perfectly normal, which is not good news because those two things are easy fixes to regulate your heart rate. And since mine are perfectly normal, there's something else going on with my heart that is causing me to have these episodes of tachycardia. Good thing I have a cardiology appointment in a few weeks, which I can explain all of this to the doctor, and hopefully we'll get some answers. But they were not cardiologists, and my heart rate had gone down to about like 105. They felt comfortable sending me home. I did feel a whole lot better after laying down for a few hours. That was pretty much it. That was pretty much everything. I didn't get very many answers, except for I did learn a little bit more about myself, and that I really do need to go see a cardiologist and get some answers. And I think that the only way I'm going to get answers about what's going on is by seeing a cardiologist. I am feeling pretty good today. Ben let me sleep in this morning, and I've been taking it easy today, so I've been feeling pretty okay, and I feel slightly better with our sickness today than I did yesterday, and the girls are definitely starting to feel better as well. I'm just so thankful that they don't have RSV or COVID. I'm so glad that we don't have COVID. We just have a common cold is what she said. We'll get through it. It'll be away in like a week or whatever. Yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I'm just going to end it here, and I hope you guys have a good day.
You set my world on fire. You're my heart's desire.